I don't know, like, she's out there. You're the Florida version of Sex in the City, JD.
That's when I was smoking my cigar.
Don't be an asshole today.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
You see me? Hang on.
You're not.
Ah, here it is. I wore my rainbow remix bracelet today.
I wore a rainbow shirt. But I'm really nervous about our guest. I don't know that she's going to make it because I assumed that she was in the US because her PR team, I think, is from there.
Hmm.
Then I read this interview that she was in Prague. And so I was like, oh no, that's like an hour later than we are. So that would be 11 p.m. her
Oh.
time. And then I noticed that she was on her Instagram that she was in Portugal. So I was like, well, that's the same
That
time.
world clock, where is
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Again, thank God for that world clock. But so I don't know if like all the different time differences or whatever she has going on, she just didn't maybe I know the PR team sent the link on to her, but
Hmm.
that was a
Hmm.
while ago. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
sometimes that happens.
Yeah. In
Well,
the
I
meantime, you had a big show this past
I
weekend.
did.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about that while we're waiting.
yes. Can we? Can we talk about it a little bit? Because
Of course we can.
I'm riding the wave still, but it's that excitement of, and mostly the last few weeks of a show that you're excited to play. I love playing the Arts Garage because it's like no other venue down here. It's a listening room, it's a show, people are watching you. And but what made this extra special is it was a sold out show, and I it sold out like 2 weeks ago, maybe three. So for the last 2, 3 weeks, going into rehearsals was like, yeah, it's sold out. We got to make this great. The energy going into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then and the drummer Steve and I particularly get this pre-show excitement, and we'll talk to each other every day, rearranging the songs on the set list. What do we think this we
Yeah,
should do?
yeah.
Then I did a little drum solo
Did
with the
you?
Melissa Etheridge did it in her show, in her concert, and then Sophie B. Hawkins did it in her show. So I thought I should do that. People seem to like that. And I used to be a drummer. In my first band, I was the drummer. So
Okay.
I was practicing with Steve, going to his house, a couple times a week at
How
night,
fun.
practice. Yeah. So it was fun. And it was a great crowd. It was like I said, it was sold out. So the energy was great. And it was women of the 70s, and the
Everybody
demographic
loves that. Come on.
was, and everybody loves it. And then on top of it, the demographics were women from the 70s. So it was
Yeah.
great. And there was, it
All
actually,
songs that everybody knows and the words they know, they can just be so like into it and
into
that's the
it,
thing.
bringing back memories. Like
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
"It's Too Late" by Carole King, "Night That the Lights Went Out in Georgia." I tried to pick ones. "You're So Vain," Carly Simon, um, and then I closed with "I Am Woman," Helen Reddy.
Oh geez, yeah.
Everyone was like, "I am strong, strong."
I saw someone, I don't even know who, but they posted the video of Joni up there singing with you.
Mhm.
And I was like, you're so
Yeah.
generous. You know,
Oh, thank you for appreciating
you know what
that.
I mean? Like, I
Yes.
don't know that a lot of people would do that, after all the constant, preparation that you do and the song selection, the rehearsals and all that stuff. And you'll pull Joni up there, to sing a couple of numbers, and I'm like, oh my God, like
Thank
not
you.
many people would do that. Like nobody really wants to share the spotlight.
Yes. You know what? I got to tell you, that means so much to me that you acknowledge that, because Joni does not take that for granted, but a lot of people do. When I first started in the business, in the very beginning, when I just had my first band, my bass player told me, like advice that I could take till this day. He said, you got to protect your gig, and you got to protect your spotlight, and be
Yeah,
careful
yeah,
of who you let on the stage with you. And he was right. And all these years later, It's so true still. I don't
I
care who you
remember it.
are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's still true,
Yeah.
so there are very few people I will do that with now. So I appreciate that
Good.
you
Good. Yeah.
appreciated that
Oh yeah,
because
Joni always delivers, no
Mhm,
question.
mhm.
She's got a powerhouse
Oh
voice,
yeah.
and
But
she's, looks the look and all that kind of stuff, and the same with Judy, like
oh,
I think you and
absolutely.
Judy together are such a perfect dichotomy, like you're
Mhm.
dark and edgy and she's blonde and rock
Yeah.
and rolly, like it's really it's there you really cute. So I mean, I think you're fortunate to have like people that you can choose from.
Yes,
You know what
it's
I mean?
great.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
No,
rare.
it looked amazing, and there were so
Yeah.
many familiar faces. I
Mhm,
saw
mhm.
Ronnie and what's her partner's name?
Charlotte.
Ronnie and
Yeah,
Charlie.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw them. Dr. Cat. So I
Dr.
was like, oh,
Cat.
that's great. You had so many like, comforting faces out there. You know what I mean?
So nice. People I haven't seen from Jay's other side when it was in Wilton Manors,
Yeah.
like that long ago. And that was great.
I
And
love that place. There was like never a time that I went there that I didn't get lucky.
you brought your vouchers. You brought your breakfast
Breakfast vouchers before I even went out.
I love that.
Yeah. I loved the summer series that we've got going,
Hmm.
between actually being at Pride, with you back in March. And
Hmm.
then we had great guests all of April. And then June kicked off Pride months, and we've just had some amazing guests, and I like that we focused on LGBTQ allies, which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I wanted this guest. But yeah, I think we're having like a stellar Pride season. Every year I
Oh,
get nervous,
absolutely.
like, are we going to have enough guests? Are we going to have, because I just always think that, everybody's busy, you know,
Yeah,
and,
yeah. And think about
if we're going after them, they're usually performers, so,
yes.
so I'm thinking everybody's super busy. And I loved our chat last week with Laura
Oh
King.
yeah. Yep.
That was
She was
fantastic.
great. She was great.
I've been watching her, every time she throws up a video, like I'll watch it because I feel like pretty soon I'll be able to piece together pretty much the whole show since I'm not going to make it to the
Right,
end of the
right.
films,
That's
right?
right.
But yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, there's just something to be said about when you're, like you always tease me about the 6 degrees of
Yeah.
of everybody knowing me being the 6 degree. But,
Yeah.
the thing of it is that like it makes me so proud that I have such talent around me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I love that.
Drawn
Like,
to you. You have a way of corralling those people.
yeah, it's just it's great, like to see everybody doing so well too. That always
Hmm.
makes me feel like so good that everybody's doing well. So I'm looking forward to like the last push.
Yeah.
The last push. Um,
Especially with what happened to the entertainment business, to see people out there doing it, and
yeah.
I
Exactly.
think
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
found other ways.
Like after COVID, how everything is pre and then
Yeah.
after. Yeah,
Yeah.
that everybody's recovering nicely, I have to say.
Yeah.
And I have Jamie Smith coming on in August, and she was a stand-up comedian, and I had found her either through one of the socials, and I just thought she was so funny, and I had her on um uh my one of my shows. I can't even remember which one, but it was like 10 years ago. So it had to have been the Lesbian Lounge. But she has kind of rebranded, and she's doing these great newsletters that are called Songs That Save Me.
Oh,
And I feel
nice.
like you would be particularly interested in this.
I like that.
She's a
Yeah.
real Prince devotee, like went to Minneapolis, went to the Purple Palace, did all that kind of stuff. She's a really good music writer. Like I don't know why she's not working for Rolling Stones. I really don't. But the thing is that I love this concept that everybody has songs that they feel like save them, whether it was
Mhm.
from,
Mhm.
the brink, or they were just having a lousy whatever, and the sun
Right, right.
came on and they connected with it or whatever.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
just love the idea of her allowing people to talk about it. I think it's great. It's really cool. So I've
What a great
reconnected with
concept.
Jamie. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
interesting, isn't it? And
Uh-huh.
it's like I always like now I want to know, like I don't know that I really have one. Like I remember going through a really difficult time with an ex who was a really um troubled young woman, into drugs, bad relationship with the family, just having a really horrible time. And I was always like she would tell me even afterwards, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here because you were the only one, that ever took an interest
Wow.
in trying to help me and trying to,
Wow.
but I mean, she did clean up her act pretty well there towards the end, but she ended up passing away. Just, the abuse, the organ,
Really?
yeah, she got, this is way before COVID. She got H1N1,
Oh,
flu, like bird flu.
oh, yeah, that was a bird flu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she couldn't come back from it, and so she
Wow.
passed away. I don't even know that I think she was like 36. What I remember, like, hearing about that and feeling really, really bad, and I was listening to that Faith Hill song, Cry.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, like "Bleh," like you know what I mean? And that's like one of the few songs I can really attach, like
Yeah.
I just kept listening to it over and over again, just like to purge all my tears. And then I
Wow.
was fine. But yeah, there's like a few, songs like that I think everybody
Yeah.
has those. It's so it'll be a really good chat with Jamie. I really can't wait.
Yeah. What a great concept. I mean,
But you know
remind,
what's weird? I always think like you have to stand up there and perform songs that you've
right.
written about that are personal.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. Like I'm too emotional. Like I cry over commercials, so Gemma
You
always
want to
laughs.
know?
Like she cracks up. Like, are you crying?
Ah,
Or she has
that's
like the
so
Kleenexes on
sensitive
her
to
side and she
do.
just passes them over when we're watching something, just passes them over. So yeah,
So
I'm the baby. I'm definitely the crier.
you
Um,
know what's funny? The only song that I wrote about loss that I could not perform live without crying for the longest time was a song I wrote about my dog, about that I
oh,
lost. I didn't write it as if it was a dog. I just wrote it
right,
about
right. Yeah.
losing this
Just the
person.
emotions, right?
Because like the line said, I remember sitting on the couch and watch TV, and you would lean your head on me.
Yeah.
Sometimes listen to the rain. So it could be a person, but
Right,
I
right.
could
Yeah, right.
not sing that song without crying, like forever. I just sang it in
I
October for the
totally
first time
really.
without
That's
without breaking up. Like I just couldn't sing it outside my living room for the longest time. It's called "Without You." I've never
oh.
sang it anywhere except that show at the Arts Garage in October when I
And
had
you
my
did
show.
it without crying, or did you tear up?
I teared up a little, but I did it without crying. But I
Oh,
could
very good.
never do it before, even at home, without crying. So it
Right,
was
right. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God. And then I think of all those Adele songs and I'm like, did she
right.
cry when she was writing them, and then get it all out and then not have to worry about it? Like I
You
can't even
wonder about that, right?
imagine. Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
ask her.
never
I'm gonna
really
ask
think
her when we
that way.
when we get her on the show, I'm gonna ask that question.
I mean, because most of my songs I wrote that way were angry, so they were okay to get out there
Yeah.
and sing. They
Yeah.
weren't like without you, about missing the person and being
Yeah, yeah.
sad.
You remember Debbie from Bianca's Kids, my friend Debbie?
Yes, yes.
So she had this gorgeous wedding in her mom's backyard, and she lived on the intercoastal, and it was beautiful. And her and Mike's wedding song was "Somewhere in the Night" by Barry Manilow.
Oh,
And so I remembered the song, but I downloaded like all of Barry Manilow's like volume one, volume two, volume three, whatever. And I was
love
just listening to
wow.
them like after that and listening to some and that song, "This One's for You,"
Mm-hmm.
just killed me. Like it made me think of my dad, and it was just like, oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Yeah, it was
He
horrible.
sang that in concert. Funny you should say that, for his grandfather, who was
I
the
love
one
you
that was
too.
instrumental in encouraging him to do music. And
Yeah.
it was so emotional because he sang it for his grandfather, and he had video footage from when he was a little boy with his
Yes.
grandfather.
Yeah,
So they
yeah,
played it on a screen behind him, and it
yeah.
was just really, really emotional.
I
And
believe it.
and the other thing I was going to tell you about Barry Manilow is the song Mandy. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true or not, but I heard that he wrote the song for his dog. Another one like mine. And if you go back and listen to those lyrics, it could
So true.
absolutely be for a dog because you kissed me and stopped me from shaking, but I sent you away. It was about a dog he had to give away when he went
Oh
on
God.
the road to go do music, and
Right.
nobody could take the dog, and he had to give the dog away. And so when
Oh,
you hear "I sent you away,"
yeah.
and all of that, it's like it could totally be that. So I
Sure.
don't know if that was true. A DJ said it on the radio. I don't know if it was Casey Kasem. Remember Casey Kasem?
Yeah, I do remember the
I
top
think he
40.
said that, but somebody said it. Then I went back and listened, and I'm like, I get it. I totally get that.
That's funny.
But
Yeah, I
I have
can't.
been having a problem with this contact lens all day.
Oh no, I used to have that used to happen to me at
Oh
work too.
man, I was going to put my glasses on for the show, and I'm like, nah, I usually do that because I
I
don't have makeup.
can't imagine how you can have your bangs hanging on your eyes that have mascara on them and wear contacts. Like I couldn't
You
have
know,
anything.
yeah, they really don't touch, really, a little bit maybe. I guess I'm used to it, but something has been bothering me all day under this one. I took it out, I rinsed it, I put it back in. I think it's glasses time for the rest of the
I was gonna say
evening.
it might have like you ever notice that sometimes they have like a little tear in them?
Yes, sometimes
Yeah,
there's a little something under
yeah,
there, even when you
hair or
rinse
something.
it
Yeah, yeah. I
up.
used to. Oh, yeah. I stopped wearing contacts during COVID. Like I was so afraid to have some virusy thing get in
Oh,
my eyes
I
that I was like COVID
forgot
protectors,
about
like my glasses. And then I just got super used to them. Like I just felt like I could see so much clearer with glasses. Like I felt like, with contacts, there was definitely a huge improvement. But with
that.
glasses, it was like, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be seeing. So yeah, I just like stopped wearing them.
It's the opposite because my contact lenses are multifocal, but my
So am
glasses
I.
are just single.
Oh
So I
yeah.
have a
No.
bifocal, so I don't see up close very well with my glasses. So I
Oh
would have to actually lift them up to see up close. So
yeah.
the contact lenses, I actually can see the
Oh yeah.
screen.
I had multifocal lenses and multifocal glasses, but I still saw so much better with the glasses. It was just incredible.
Wow.
And I keep thinking, like I should go back, to wearing contacts now. I mean, everything seems safe enough. I
Hmm.
just don't want to because like I was so bad about taking them out at night. I would just sleep in them
Yeah, yeah. I
away
have
from
the daily wears, so if I fall asleep with them, they're light. They're not like a heavy lens, so I do
Yeah, no,
fall.
I had those too, but I just couldn't see the television from bed. So if I was
Yeah.
like in bed and I was trying to watch something, it was like it was easier to just keep my contacts in and then just the next morning they would be like cornflakes, you know?
Right. That's exactly what they become. Like just
Yeah.
like just out of you can't bring them back to life when that
No,
happens.
no, it was terrible. And my eye doctor used to lecture me because I was doing that from like 10th grade. And my eye doctor would be like, how many times do we have to have this conversation? Like 30 years on, you know, you're still sleeping in them. It's not right. Terrible. Yeah, so he was feeling much better when I said I don't wear, because I love my eye doctor so much. His office was right across the street from my mother's restaurant in Florida. So I would see him for breakfast. I would see him at lunchtime.
Oh.
He was like a family friend, really. And so every time I would go back to when I would visit my mom, I would
Mhm.
make sure I made an eye doctor appointment. I would go just really just to have him catch up with him and stuff, but get a proper eye exam because it's real barbaric over here. Like, like
Really?
Dr. Klein, like Norman, he's retired now, but he had like he was an ophthalmology surgeon as well as an eye doctor, but he had like all this intricate, expensive equipment, the machines and all that. And over here they have like plastic glasses that they put on you and they turn and I'm like, what year
Really?
is this? Why do I look like this? This is so stupid. But that's
Is,
how they do it here.
oh my God, wow.
Yeah. So I would always kind of like fall back on, I would, you know, keep up here, but I would fall back on Norm for, you know, thinking he knows what he's doing.
You know what's funny about you speaking of eye doctors? At the show on Saturday night, my eye doctor had retired in January, like December, January. She sent a really nice email out to all her patients, which I thought was so nice that she did that. And so so then I hadn't seen her. So there was a woman sitting at the table in the front, like the whole night. I'm like, she looks familiar to me, but I can't place her, because I had never seen my eye doctor outside of the eye doctor.
Right, right.
I didn't see her in everyday life, and I think she wears like the coat, like the eye
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah, yeah.
So, but the funny thing is, of all doctors, the eye doctor, I don't see well enough to see who she is, right?
The irony is not lost on me.
The irony, right? No one was getting that. I was just trying to tell everybody that night. It's like Larry David. And nobody, they're like, and I'm like, my eye doctor, I didn't recognize was
Couldn't
sitting.
see my eye doctor clear
I
enough. Yeah.
couldn't see
That's
her. And
great.
and she goes, I set, well, when it was over and the lights came up, because, when you're on the stage and you're there in the
Yeah, you
dark,
can't really tell, right? Yeah.
she was up front, the lights are in your eyes, right? So then the lights come up and everything, and it's regular lighting, and I'm like, oh my God, it's you, wow, and I'm like, I'm afraid to go back. I don't want to go because you're not there, and I need my contact lens exam. And she goes, I'm going to be filling in August. Call the office. I'll be there one day.
Oh, that's great.
So I made the appointment today to see her on.
Awesome.
But it was just so funny, the irony of it, that I
Yeah,
didn't
right.
see, couldn't
You want to
see.
hear some crazy stuff? Like my um eye doctor, when he retired, he was really excited because he would get to play saxophone in his band full time.
Oh,
So if you ever
that,
need a sax player, Norman Klein.
there are a lot of doctors that want to do that. They just want
Yes,
to
isn't it?
retire. That's what Paul said.
I love this guy though. He's so cool. Like, in fact, the way I found out he was retiring was we ran into him at a bagel joint, him and his wife, and he told me. But the cool thing about him is that if you ran into him on the street, you would think that you ran into Billy Joel.
Really?
Now, bald,
That's cool.
same eyes, same nose, small guy, and honestly, he's so small that like when my mom always went to him too, and Rick, he would
Hmm.
put his hand up against Rick's hand.
Uh-huh.
Rick's hand would look like a baseball glove. Like that's the difference between hard labor and a profession,
Right?
and
Oh
a
my God,
doctor.
that is funny.
I can honestly say I don't think Natissa's showing up yet.
I
So
don't think so. No.
that's all right. That's okay. We've just caught up and we'll catch everybody else up. And
Yes.
is it next week that we have Sophie B. Hawkins drummer?
Yes, Katie Marie. I'm
Katie
so
Marie.
excited. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, perfect.
She
Great.
is British.
Is she?
Yes.
My
She's
people.
got your people. She's got such a wonderful accent. Um, and the other thing I wanted to mention was I got a new perfume. I've been obsessed lately with scenting, the whole scenting.
Wait, don't you have a signature scent?
Well, I do, but I'm switching now. Alien is my signature scent. It used to be Mackie, then it became there was something after Mackey. Bob Mackey, that was like first
Mhm.
it was Cher Uninhibited, then it was Bob Mackey, which was kind of the same scent, then it was something else, then it was Alien, and now I switched to Le Labo is the name of this French company, Le Labo, and they make a perfume called Santal 33. All of their perfumes have like numbers and names.
Mhm.
And so it's a woody, leathery, like just like a really nice scent, like a musky, but it's got
I've never heard of that. What's it called?
Le Labo is the name of the company, and Santal, Santal 33.
Okay, interesting.
it's hard to get. It's expensive. It's like $360 for, a little bottle. So I found a company because now, you look one thing up and the algorithms get you on Instagram, right? There are all of
Yeah.
these companies that mimic perfumes that will
Yeah.
match these Le Labos and stuff like
Yeah,
that. The
yeah, yeah. I remember
Ford,
finding stuff in the mall,
Rihanna.
right? SPF.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Tom Ford. They don't even give you samples of his because they're so high end. It's $360 for a bottle. Anyway, so there's this company called Oakcha, OAK, like the tree, CHA, and they're in London, and they make uh, these perfumes that for the price of $65 a bottle, you can get the one that smells like the one that's three hundred and
And,
sixty-five
and
dollars
then
a
you pay
bottle.
100 in shipping.
Well, I don't know. No, the shipping wasn't bad, so maybe they make it here. I thought about the shipping. I actually did think about it when I got the package, and it says it's from London. It's made in London, so London, England. So I love it. It smells. I bought a little for $165. I bought a little bottle of the perfume oil of the Santal 33. And I'm talking about like a half an ounce. And so maybe it was an ounce. It's got an eyedropper.
Oh
They
my
make it
God.
they make it like they're
I'll look
making
up
like
Okja and
in
see
a
if it's near
pharmacy.
me.
Yeah, well, the Le Labo is the one that does it's like it looks like it's a pharmaceutical, like a lab, like a chemistry lab. And
Yeah.
they put your name on it if you want. So my little
Oh,
bottle,
Fragrance House.
yeah, that's the Okcha. But the Le Labo will put your name on the bottle. I'm going to put it up on Instagram, the picture.
Oh,
If you want, you can put your name and they put it on the label like a prescription, like you're ordering a prescription
yeah,
from
yeah.
and then they formulate it for you and they send it out to you. And so that's made in New York. That's the Santal 33. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this for $65. Let me see if it really smells like the Santal 33.
Yeah, yeah.
It does. It really does. It's so darn close that I just love it. And
Wow.
it lasts. So I got it yesterday, and I meant to mention that to you that it's made right there. Maybe it's even a little bit more affordable if you're in London and you get it there. They call it a
Might
fragrance
be, yeah.
house.
It doesn't look like very much. But
Oh,
it's telling me it's in the US there's one.
so maybe I was going to say like Les Labos in Paris and then
Yeah, probably.
New York City.
But
So maybe,
when I first looked at it, it said London Fragrance House.
yeah. And it said
Huh,
London, made in London, made in England, but
crazy.
maybe they make it here too. I'm not sure. But I love it. And
Great.
for all of you people in London,
Yeah,
uh,
nice.
Rue, you'd have to look on I think it's called Rue something, the one that smells like Santal 33. But they
Oh,
have all kinds. Like if you like Tom Ford and he's got
yeah,
different,
yeah. That's
they
great.
probably
I know I was I used to wear some Sansara back then,
yeah.
and it was never expensive, you know, and I wore it for like 15 years. And towards the end of that time, the price had gone up like so much that I remember Chuck saying, I was gonna get you Samsara for Christmas. This was not long ago, him saying I was gonna get you the Samsara for Christmas. I cannot believe what it costs now. I'm like, right? Because he used to get it for me every year. And then we
Yeah.
go, even after we were divorced and stuff, like Ginger would go out and get it. Like
Yeah.
I would get her Happy. That was her
Oh,
favorite.
yeah. I remember that.
And
Yeah.
so we would literally give each other perfume every year. And they would give me Samsara. And I remember Chuck saying, I cannot believe the difference in price.
Wow.
So then I started going to those places like SPF in the mall and
Mhm.
finding the equivalent to it. And I remember I had a roommate for a little while. My friend Erica lived with me for a bit before she was in an interim before she was moving to Tampa. So she was living with me for a little bit. And she said when she got to Tampa and she unpacked her boxes, her bedroom smelled like Samsara
Aw.
because my whole apartment used to smell like it. Yeah. So,
That's the
um,
luxury scenting thing. That's the whole thing I've been into. You put it through your HVAC system and it's
yeah, aromatherapy.
house.
Yep.
Yeah, aromatherapy. So
Yep.
yeah, so I found this and I'm excited about it. And thought
That's
I
amazing. I can't tell you how much I'm so disappointed in diffusers, and yet
yeah.
I still keep buying them. Like literally, I don't know if you can see this, but
Mhm.
that fan has a
Oh,
diffuser
I see it.
right in
Yes.
front of it, right? You can't smell the diffuser.
Well, you know what? It's about the oil. The Aroma 360 is what I got, and the diffuser. This particular one goes into your air conditioner, but
That's
you can
cool.
get little ones like this one.
Yeah.
Is This is not Aroma 360. This I got off the internet, off of Amazon, Blue Hill.
Like on a timer, it just kind of,
It's on a
yeah,
timer, and
yeah,
you can see how much you want to come through. I don't know if you could see the smoke,
yeah,
but
yeah. No, my mom has something really similar.
it's the oil though that makes the
Yeah,
difference. So the
yeah,
Aroma 360 oil, the hotel collection is a little bit pricey, but it's worth it because you'll smell it. I
yeah.
walk in my house and I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Like
I'll
it makes
never forget Devin at my 40th birthday. We invited him, and he actually came, and he got up. It was a roast. Of course, my mother planned it, and Rita at the time, and it was an actual roast. So everybody had to get up there and say something. And Devin said, "I'll never forget the time." He's like this Southern Atlanta gay, guy that was producing our show at the time, and he was like, "I walked into that condo, and every outlet had a plug-in in it." He said, "I would leave there, my clothes would smell."
Oh my God.
And I'm
Well,
like,
you should
could you
try.
tell I had cats? He was like, no. Could you tell I
See?
had a litter box? He was like, no. And I'm like, okay.
There's
So
the
yeah.
reason.
Could you tell I was a smoker? No. I was like, see, yeah,
Yeah,
I used to have plugins in every outlet, but my mom and Rick got those timed ones that just do a little,
yeah. That's
and
what you
yeah,
do. Yeah,
Rick's sister-in-law was working for the company that made them.
yeah.
Um, and so they got them like all for free, and all the refills and everything. She would just bring the refills, home with her. They never
Wow,
got
that's
them.
great.
Yeah, it's great. The only thing it doesn't do well is hiding like cooking smells. Like I
Oh
would,
yeah,
walk in and be like, "Oh God," it's like garlic flour. Like so it was
right.
not
Well,
good. So much
that's
for
a good mark.
bergamot.
Well, I was just going to tell you, Le Labo has bergamot 26. They sent me a sample. It's
Yeah,
amazing. I was
is
going to tell
it?
you that because I know you like bergamot.
I do.
Yes, it is now. Now maybe you could get it there from Paris. It's because it's in Paris and New York City. That's the Le Labo scent. It's
Interesting.
pricey. That's the pricey one. But I'll let you
Interesting.
know if Oksha has a sister to it. I'm going to look
Okay.
because that
Okay.
bergamot 26 is so delicious when you smell it. It's like
Ooh.
amazing.
Yeah,
So I thought
I
of
do
you with
like
that.
bergamot. I got everybody in my family hooked on it. Now I have to bring bergamot soap to Rick every time I go home. I bring him a couple of things of bergamot soap. My mother likes a certain deodorant over here, and I think it's got the bergamot in it. So yeah, I always have to buy those things, stock up, and then this way can bring a couple back every time I go visit.
I'll do a little research for you and I'll let
Thank
you know.
you. All right, my friend. It was good catching up. Can't wait to meet Katie Marie next week.
Yes, me too. Well, this was fun.
We'll see if
Have
we can reschedule
a
reschedule this, because I think it's really important that we hear from
yeah,
Natisa Gogol is her
let's
name, and
do it.
she's Ukrainian refugee who fled. She was born in Dnipro, and then she grew up in Kiev, and
Oh,
was there when the first bombs went off at like 5 in the morning, and she was
wow.
making a plan by 9 to get out of there. And
Girl.
of course, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and she was sleeping in her car for 5 days and trying to get to the Czech Republic, and I think all of this made her acutely aware of people that are targeted, minorities, marginalized, and
Yeah.
she's wrote this song called Aesthetics. I'm just going to tell everybody, go to YouTube and look for it. And it's dedicated to the LGBTQ community.
Wow.
So it's doing well. And she was in Pink News, so she's getting some steam. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I really do want to have a conversation, and hopefully we can do that. We'll try and juggle and find out when we can reschedule.
Awesome. I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah, definitely. All right, my friend, have a good evening.
You too. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Why do you always run back
Like, never
to
stop chasing your
the
dreams.
lover you once
There, that's
knew?
see,
Addicted to
see.
her touch.
We drank
That's
way too
true.
much whiskey.
And I confess, my addiction is you. Don't ask me why I'm here tonight. I had to take this midnight drive to find you. And as I come in through the door, I see her dancing on the floor beside you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You look at me and in my eyes you see the hurt I can't disguise. I watch you, and though it seems I look right through, I'm noticing your every move. She's got you. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You're my addiction. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. I turn away to mask the pain, but jealousy reveals my rage and madness. And knowing you can read my mind consumes me in a shameful kind of sadness. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. You are my drug, my ever waking need. I got you in my blood. You've got me on my knees. Why do you always run back to the lover you once knew? You're addicted to her touch, that's true. And I confess, my addiction is you. Why do you run? Why do you My addiction. Why do you run? My addiction. Why do you run? My addiction.